call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Belisca?
Present.
Mr. DeSarno?
Here.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Here.
Mayor Morgan?
Here.
Mrs. Joffroy?
Here.
Mr. Kogan?
Here.
Mrs. McKnight?
Here.
Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a public meeting of Borough Council, Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey. Adequate notice has been given in accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231. That annual notice of revision was made in conformance with Section 13 of the Act. Before we start, I just want to recognize that it's EMS week, and just want to say we cherish our EMS here in New Providence. They go above and beyond what's expected, and they do an absolutely tremendous job. And I'm glad to see, I see a lot of new members coming in, young members, so God bless them. Okay, we have a proclamation for National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Kathleen? You can bring your group up too if you want.
Anybody who's here, come on up.
That's burnt orange. That counts. I don't know if it counts.
Hey, that's the one.
I'm wearing peach.
It's in there.
Now, let's see if they can arrange themselves in other colors.
Whereas every day more than 120 Americans are killed by gun violence and more than 200 are shot and wounded. And whereas New Jersey has 427 gun deaths every year, a rate of 4.8 deaths per 1,000 people, a crisis that costs the state $5.3 billion a year. And whereas mayors, public officials, and law enforcement officers across the nation are working to end this senseless violence and protect public safety in the communities they serve. And whereas support the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people with dangerous histories. And whereas gun violence prevention is more important than ever as we see an increase in firearm homicides and non-fatal shootings across the country, increased calls for domestic violence hotlines, and increase in city gun violence. Whereas on June 2nd, 2023, to recognize the 26th birthday of Adia Pendleton, who was tragically shot and killed at the age of 15 in January 2013. People across the United States will recognize National Gun Violence Awareness Day and wear orange in tribute to Adia Pendleton and other victims of gun violence and for their loved ones. And whereas by wearing orange on June 2nd, 2023, Americans will raise awareness about gun violence, renew our commitment to reduce gun violence, and to pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the hands of people who should not have them, and encourage the responsible gun ownership to help keep our families and communities safe. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Alan Morgan, Mayor of the Borough of Providence, proclaim the first Friday in June, June 2nd, 2023, to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day, to honor and remember all victims and survivors of gun violence, and to encourage all citizens to support the efforts to reduce gun violence. And I'm happy to be reading this. We done this proclamation for years. Not only myself, but the Borough Council has thoroughly supported this effort. So let's take a picture and yeah. But you didn't chase us.
I just want to let everybody know as well, if I can, that on June 4th, we're having a Wear Orange event here in Providence. It's just a short 1-hour community gathering. It's going to be at Veterans Park across from OLP at 1:30, and we would love everybody to join. So, thank you so much. Mayor.
God bless you.
Appreciate it.
Bless
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone here who hasn't given me their name or hasn't checked in?
May as well stay there, you have one more. What did they say, 1:30? Oh. Yeah, may as well.
Bernadette, no sound on YouTube.
The live stream has no sound.
Thank you. Everybody, anybody else here wants to come up? Just you?
Maybe for 11 first.
Okay, this is a proclamation declaring period poverty awareness week. Whereas in New Jersey, 1 in 9 women and girls between the ages of 12 and 44 lives below the federal poverty line. And whereas almost 60% of the families living in poverty experience financial stress and struggle to keep up with their bills and cover expenses. And whereas women falling below the federal poverty line receive health coverage through Medicaid, medical assistance, or other government assistance plans, still struggle to access material basic necessities they require to thrive. And whereas women who participate in the Women's, Infants, and Children program receive nutritious food, many of them who fall behind the federal poverty level face challenges meeting their material basic necessities. Whereas the people of New Providence, New Jersey recognize that period poverty is a public health issue, and addressing period poverty can lead to economic opportunity for the state's people and communities, and improved health for people who menstruate, thus ensuring all people have access to the basic necessities required to thrive and reach their full potential. And whereas New Jersey is a proud home to trusted community-based organizations that recognize the importance of period products in ensuring health and providing economic stability, and thus distribute these products through various channels. Now therefore I, Alan Morgan, Mayor of Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim the week of May 22nd through May 28th, 2023 as Period Poverty Awareness Week in the Borough of Providence, New Jersey, and thank the supply banks, their staff, volunteers, and donors for their courageous service, and encourage the citizens of New Providence, New Jersey to donate generously to these supply banks, product drives, and those organizations that collect distributed products to those struggling with period poverty, so that New Providence, New Jersey people can thrive and reach their full potential. Thank you, Britt. Bridget here, she started Moms Helping Moms, and this is what this is all about. So this organization started right here in New Providence. I think you have a big warehouse in Warren, right?
Yeah.
I see you on Instagram all the time.
Yeah, so we're a baby diaper, baby supply, and menstrual supply bank located in Warren. We do serve the whole state. And this week is all about raising awareness for the fact that 1 in 4 people who menstruate cannot afford the supplies that they need to live a normal life, right? I love it. No offense, guys, but I love that I have all these moms in the room for this, because everybody gets it, right? You don't have to explain it. So, and what you guys are doing is amazing. I've already signed up. So I'm honored to be here with you guys, and thank you so much,
You're quite welcome.
Mayor Al, and all you guys too. Thank you, thank you. This community has been amazing. I mean, when we moved here versus now, like it's a lot of because of New Providence.
Well, I remember bringing donated diapers, and you were in a parking lot, and you
Yeah.
standing quite a bit, so
Yeah.
congratulations.
Well, that was a lot of thanks to you and all of you guys, so thank you. Thank you all.
Great.
And I love you too.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, I need approval of minutes for April 25th, please. Have a motion.
So moved.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, so be it. May 9th, motion, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, so be it. Okay, we have correspondence from County of Union about community block grants for 2024. New Providence Fire Department, resignation from Oscar Rojas, and we want to thank him for his contributions. State of New Jersey DEP, a suspected hazardous discharge that was associated with the removal of a storage tank over at 99 South Street. Any comments? No? Okay, we'll go to council business. Pete?
Okay, Mayor, Resolution 2023-147 is a salary resolution. This is the addition of 1 camp counselor for the summer camp program. Resolution 2023-148 is a resolution appointing Karen Rooney as part-time program coordinator for the Community Activities Department for the Borough of New Providence. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, finance, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2023-149 is a resolution authorizing payment of the attached bills payable list in the amount of $5,646,506.77. Some of the more significant items on this list included the County of Union for $3,531,121. This was for the second quarter Union County purpose and open space taxes. We had the City of Summit for $873,343, and that is our annual sewer charge. The Depository Trust was paid $652,007. That's principal and interest payments due. Gabrielli was paid $238,292, and that is for the Public Works truck, which has a plow and a salt spreader. And lastly, the State of New Jersey, $132,202 for the May State Health Benefits Premium. Resolution 2023-150 is a resolution providing for the insertion of any special item of revenue in the 2023 budget pursuant of NJS 40A 4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948, Storm Water Assistance Grant. And this is simply to be able to insert the grant that we received for $15,000 into the budget.
Okay, personnel, Matt.
Thank you. Resolution 151 is a resolution accepting written employment resignation from Arthi Sri Selvaraj as part-time program coordinator for the Community Activities Department of the Borough of Providence. We received this resignation last week. Her last day will be June 23rd. As we just appointed a program coordinator, we were searching for a program coordinator, part-time program coordinator for a spot that we already had open. So we're going back to the candidates that we saw for that position to hopefully, we had a couple of good ones there, so we can fill that position with one of those candidates.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Artie for, serving. She was terrific, and we wish her well. She's moving, and wish her well in her future endeavors.
So it's 2 years almost 2 years. I remember it was June when we brought her on board 2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, we have raffle requests for the PBA 132, RA 1188, and Our Lady of Peace for RA 1189, and the applications were processed and reviewed. Resolution 152 is appointing Grace Felizzola as administrative assistant for the police department, and she's going to be replacing Donna Sarno, and who is retiring. And then we have a resolution approving the shared service agreement for the special law enforcement officers, which are commonly known as SLEOs. They're the police officers at the entrances of the school, and we have an agreement with the Board of Education with that. So we'll go to Public Works. Alex.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2023-154, resolution approving requisition number R2301075 for Armstrong, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $17,685, replacement of sanitary sewer manholes. This is a replacement of manhole number 47 located in the wooded area of New Providence train station parking lot by Springfield Avenue. Resolution 2023-155, resolution approving requisition R2301094 for Schifano Construction Corp. in the amount not to exceed $400,000. MCC PC contract number 6 for 2023 road overlay program. This is approving the requisition for the paving of Grant, Crest, Constance, and Crane Circle by the borough. These roads are being paved using the American Rescue Plan funds. Additional roads will be coming soon once we figure out and get information from PSE&G that have been working throughout the town for the gas main replacement project. Just one point, that once PSE&G replaces a main, the road repair needs to sit for about 50 to 60 days before we can account for all the settling that happens before we can pave the road.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll do council committee reports. I was honored to be invited to a Veterans Moving Wall Memorial, which is in Union. And it's a replica of the Vietnam Veteran Memorial in Washington, D.C. It had 58,000 names on it. It's quite extraordinary. It was at Beer Temple Park. I enjoyed it. It was very solemn, and I think anybody my age knew people that were in Vietnam. We had one pioneer that was killed, the only pioneer that was killed, and that was George Robert Hutchinson. He died in, I think, 1965. And there is a memorial plaque in Veterans Park for him. Besides that, operations normal, except that I know people are getting very frustrated with the conditions of the roads in town. And I say it at every meeting, please be careful. I think Bernadette told me 25 roads that are being worked on. There's 42 more to go. So this project that PSE&G is going to be endeavoring in is not only this year, it's going to be for a couple years. So Bernadette can give you more information. And I know there was another water main break in front of Our Lady of Peace. They were out there all night. They got it opened about, I guess, 10, 11 o'clock. But, we've been complaining about it for a number of years now. And I think that's like the 5th or 6th blowout right in that little section. Why don't you replace the whole main? Well, Bernadette was talking to the water company in the county, and they said they were going to replace the whole main from Mountain all the way to Springfield Avenue, which will be another traffic nightmare. So I think you told me it was in the engineering stages, so it won't be right this minute, but just be aware that it's coming. You know, this town's, a lot of this infrastructure is almost 100 years old. So the materials that they use back then it doesn't have a lifespan of the new materials. So it's not only New Providence, but if you go down the line, all this infrastructure work is being done. So I know it's inconvenient. I know it's dangerous. Just be careful driving and riding bikes, Alan, and walking, and you know it's going to be a while. So, and I know Bernadette has more to say on this in her report. So that's all I have right now.
Can I just add real quick to that? You know, we had a recent correspondence, and Bernadette kind of she outlined an order of how she went about responding to a correspondence and applying for grants for certain big ticket items, and that takes time. And trying to balance the grants, applying for the grants, and using those grants for the big ticket items. And today we see we have ARP money that we're using, right? These are things that are important, right? They don't affect the taxpayer, right? We're not raising taxes to do these things. So it's a balancing act, right? I mean, I'm just reading through that. It's a tough balancing act to try and make sure you're getting use of all your grant monies, right? And how long it takes to get those things, you know, in the door, right? So it's a big effort. And I know for sure, you know, based on what I saw from Bernadette, you know, they do a really good job of trying to manage that.
Oh, one other thing. There's going to be a bill coming up in Trenton tomorrow, Thursday, about the municipalities getting back their energy receipt tax. The state took it from all the municipalities to balance their budget years ago. They never should have taken it because it wasn't due to them. It was actually all the municipalities' money. I signed on to a letter for the New Jersey Conference of Mayors and the New Jersey League of Municipalities, and hopefully the legislature will pass a bill to restore that money back to us. I think at the time when they took it, it was like $300,000 they took from us. And that was years ago. I can imagine what it is now. So hopefully they'll pass it. I will talk to the assembly people on Thursday because I'll be down there. I've already talked to Senator Brannick, and you know, hopefully we can get this thing done and we can find some more money and maybe pave more roads. Okay, that's all I have. Diane.
Operations normal.
Okay, Pete.
Yeah, a couple things. Just a reminder, of course, we have a Memorial Day parade. Will be held on Monday the 29th at 10 a.m., rain or shine. So please join us as we march along Springfield Avenue between Central and Academy Streets and honor our fallen heroes. I also had the opportunity on the 17th, along with Councilman Comiskey, to do a quick tour of our wastewater treatment facility. I know other council people have done this recently as well. Councilman Comiskey and I did it when we first got onto council, but it was nice to go back there. It's always impressive to hear Anthony Carnevale speak. He's a man of great passion about his work as well as great ability. He was also kind enough to give us a tour of some of his recent upgrades. So it was, I found it very impressive, and I'm sure Councilman Comiskey will echo those thoughts. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's nice to go, number one, talk to somebody who, like Pete says, passionate about his job, right? But number two, he's probably one of the most educated people in that industry, right, in the state. He really knows his stuff, and to see, you know, we pass all these ordinances and resolutions, and we see all the monies that we're spending. It's nice to go see it actually in place, and I think Councilwoman McKnight mentioned, you can eat off the floor in there. I mean, it just keeps a really clean shop. Pretty impressive. Agreed. I was able to attend the New Providence Business Professional Association's meeting at Braunschweiger. They had Keith Lynch, who's our construction official, out to talk about our sign ordinance and processes, which I thought was nice. One of the things that they did was went around the room and everybody introduced themselves, what businesses they are, who they represent. Most people live in New Providence, but there are people who work in businesses that don't live here, and talked about why they like New Providence. And I'll tell you, it was a very common theme. Probably 75 or 85% of the people all said, New Providence is just a really nice town. We just really like New Providence. And then we got into this discussion on the sign ordinances and why we have them and how we want to keep New Providence a nice town by managing through our construction officials and our planners and whatnot. So I want to thank Keith for coming out and doing that and educating them. They had some great questions about what they should do if they have ideas about signage and whatnot. He said, talk to me. Come, just give me a call, shoot me an email, come in, whatever. Don't go out and spend money on this big sign and then you can't put it up because it's against our ordinance. So that was nice. It was a nice event. Also, we had the safe places. I know we may have mentioned that a few times. I just wanted to mention it here. I know there was an article in the TAP as well, but our Safe Place initiative, it seeks to combat hate crimes and student bullying through a unified effort between police officials, local businesses, social clubs, and schools. Each police agency in Union County has embraced this program and received Safe Places certification. So we were joking, and I want to thank actually, Dan Han, our chief of police, William Daniel, who's the Union County prosecutor who came out, Detective Michael Carlino, and Linda's gifts and the kids EMO, urgent care, and Skin Deep for being our initial kickoff. It was really cool. But we were joking that Union County is it's the first county, not only in New Jersey, but it's the first county in the world that participated 100% in this program. I think the program started out in Seattle, and it's nice, we kicked that off, and you can see the signs in some of the local businesses around town. It's a place that if you feel threatened, if you feel bullied, or you have any concerns for your safety, that's a safe place. Go in there. They are trained to be able to work with you and call the police and make sure that you're safe. And last thing I had was the cricket pitch. I saw that the cricket pitch installation was completed, and so keep your eyes and ears out for. I guess we have to let it sit for a little while. Maybe we got some grass that's got to grow around it and whatnot, but we'll work with the recreation department and hopefully have a little ribbon cutting and a first pitch. Get your arm ready.
First bowl.
Yeah.
First bowl.
Okay, indeed.
Okay. The only thing I have tonight is just a reminder, this upcoming, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after, Saturday, June the 3rd, is the Unity Day sponsored by the Diversity Committee. That's going to be held down right over there in Centennial Park at the gazebo between 5 and 7:30 p.m. It is 100% student-driven and student-led. We'll be celebrating various cultures. Various groups from the high school are coming, and they're going to have booths. They're going to have entertainment. There is going to be a food collection area for our Link Resource Pantry. It's going to be a great day, and the conclusion is going to be a holy celebration of colors, which is a great time, a lot of fun. It's a family event. It's an everybody event, so come on down and join us. It's going to be a great day.
Thank you.
Just to add, for little kids in that event,
Yes.
we'll have a little passport around the world.
Yeah.
So if you go to every booth, you'll get stamped. It's a nice activity for little kids.
And there'll be games and different activities. So every booth will have its own little varied thing. So it'll be very nice.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Nothing? Lisa?
All right, thank you, Mayor. So the library board met, And I'm always so impressed with the Friends of the Library. They're just such an engaging and dynamic group, and they do so much to bring programming and resources to the library. And a couple of things that I learned that I didn't even know about was that you can get museum passes through the library. So there, if you go on the website, you could check out which museums they participate in, and you can actually check out a 4-pack of admission tickets, and then go to the museum, and then you return the passes back when you're done. The Sunday concert series is a huge success all the time, and the Friends have scheduled that all the way out to spring 2024. And this sounds fun too. In November, they're going to be doing a murder mystery right at the library, right? It's a little fundraiser for the library, but it's going to be Murder on the Titanic, and it's going to be on a Saturday night. I think they can only fit like 70 people, so it's first come, first served for that. The staff did have a staff development day on the 3rd of May. Among other things, they visited and collaborated with some other local libraries around here where they exchanged ideas and came up with different initiatives to bring back to our library right here. And that was it for the library. The Board of Ed met last night, and although there was some business on the agenda, the only thing I could glean out of that was that it's the end of the year and senioritis is going on, and there's a lot of activities, among them the senior breakfast and the senior awards. So we just want, and I know we have a couple senior parents here, just want to say congratulations and good luck to the seniors as they wind down the year and head towards graduation. Always just a really special and fun time of year for everybody. Morgan's message. So this was something that was a collaboration. Well, it was done by the Board of Ed, but overlapped our mental health committee a little bit. So Morgan's message was an initiative that was brought forward by 2 of the New Providence High School girls. And they did do it yesterday at the girls' lacrosse game. Mr. Carangelo announced the message and raised awareness for Morgan's message, which basically strives to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health within the student-athlete population. So they want to equalize the treatment of both the physical and mental health in athletes. And Morgan, so it's named after a young girl named Morgan, obviously, who was a lacrosse player who did commit suicide. So her family did bring this initiative forward, and is passing it on to all the schools. In addition to that, they spoke about the new bell schedule for the middle school. So that's going to just provide some better synergies and provide more offerings for the middle school, and just will make things easier by aligning it with also the high school bell schedule. And I think that was it. The beautification is going to be meeting on June 1st. They have a lot of ideas, so hopefully we can get some of those pushed through.
Okay, Bernadette.
Thank you, Mayor Morgan. So roads, that's the talk of the town. So as Councilman Cogan mentioned, that we have a current PO out there for Constance, Crest, Grant, Crane, and Hillary. Those are our initial streets that we'll be paving as a borough this year. There's 15 additional streets that the borough will be picking up late summer, early fall, that piggyback off of the PSE&G pipe replacement, main replacement. Additionally, we have the fiscal year 2022 NJDOT grant that's in progress right now on Bromley, Woodcrest, and Fairmont. So those should be wrapping up probably in, close out by late August. But some of those streets are coming to the end where they're getting ready to be paved as well. So a lot of paving going on there. If you look on the PSE&G tab of the website under projects, there's listed 20 streets that PSE&G intends to pave, hopefully in June. So in total, in phase 1 of this project, There were 35 streets that went through on Phase 1 alone. They are currently working through Phase 2. So they're broken up. PSE&G will be paving the streets that were the longest since we've dug them up. And then the borough will come through after the rest of them settle and do the rest of them. So there's about 40 streets just there for that, and then Phase 2 is happening as we speak. So it's still going to be a rocky road out there. Literally. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the phone service, and I tried to get this into layman's terms, and it is still very convoluted, but in very, very, very high level. The borough contracts with a company that uses a third-party provider for our phone service. One of the circuits went down, they've replaced it, it was an old copper line. They came in on Monday and basically brought a new circuit. That circuit didn't work, they brought another circuit. So we think at this point we have been remediated and that our phone should be up and running with no issues. They've moved us off the old copper circuit and we should be good to move forward. Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed. The website, we're continuing to work with the vendor to ensure that all of our content has been migrated correctly. We're finding some errors in the migration, so departments are going through to make sure that stuff is still there, not missing, accurate, spelling, link checks, that kind of stuff. On Monday, June 5th, borough employees will be in a training session between 1 and 4 to learn how to use the back end of the website, uploading documents and making edits for different pages. And on last Friday, the borough was closed to the public for staff development. The borough is part of the Garden State Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, who is a collaboration of about 40 different municipalities that forms together to provide insurance for at a lower rate than we would get on the free market, if you would. They come in and they have a group, the NIP group, that does training for us both in person and online. So we did our harassment training that's required every 2 years, diversity training, sensitivity training, and ethics. So we had over 40 people participate in that, and the rest of the people who are not available will do it online. That's all I have.
Thank you.
I noticed one thing on the, what do you call it, planning and development report. I thought, you said other noteworthy information. The Village Shopping Center had submitted for improvements on the site, a paver patio that will construct outside of Starbucks and Chipotle, and will include a bike rack.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's really good stuff. So do we know if do they need a variance for that, or is that just,
Keith can give them the variance, so they don't actually, it's a builder's,
Awesome. Awesome.
They don't have to go before the planning board.
Yeah, I saw, that's really good stuff. Cool, can't wait for that.
Brenda, one quick question regarding the communication issues we've been having. With a contract that's with a government agency, is there some minimum service level requirements or guarantees, whether it's equipment, response times, those type of things that are included?
Pete, I can tell you that there is probably more than 100 emails back and forth between me and the provider. They were working on it. They were trying to identify what was wrong. Thankfully, the 911 system was working, so it didn't affect us in that way. It was just the communication between us and the outside. And our phones internally were working as well, so it was really just external.
Okay. At this time, we have public comments. Anybody wishing to address council? Yeah, Brian.
Actually, it's kind of just a follow-up, because Pete brought up a good point about
Can we have your
SLAs.
address?
Oh, Brian Haas, 49 Bradford Street. So Pete brought up a good point about service level agreements, and I just wondered if we do have such a thing for things like the communication. I know the field I'm in, there are certain agreements that are within the contract, and sometimes there's penalties for not meeting those service level agreements. So I just wondered if we have anything like that.
So our provider is refunding us for all of the days, and I believe it was the entire month they're giving us back for not being able to provide the required service that we were seeking. And like I said, it was out of SpectraTel is the company that we are provided with, and it was the third party after them that was having issues.
Okay, so just refunding for the service that was not provided
Well,
during
and like
that
I said,
period.
they were working round the clock, literally, to get us back up and running, but it was just a little bit more complicated than anyone had anticipated.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Seeing no one, I declare the public comments closed. Need formal action. Need a motion for items 1 through 10, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mrs. Joffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Kogan?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Okay. I need a motion to go into executive session, resolution 2023-38.
Let me read it.
Please read the title.
Resolution establishing May 23rd, 2023 as the date and 8:10 PM as the time, and the municipal center is the place for the holding of a special session of the mayor and council of the Borough of New Providence to discuss legal matters involving Joseph D. Parisi lawsuit.
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mrs. Joffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Kogan?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to thank the public for coming. Have a safe Memorial Day. Enjoy the parade. It's one of the few things that's been going on for ever since I was a kid. I remember how proud I was when I was a Cub Scout. I actually got to hold the American flag walking down Springfield Avenue. So it was a lot of fun. Thank you.